we have a defined contribution plan with ARP. Okay? It means that the only thing that is defined is how much is put into your account. There's no guarantee whatsoever what benefit you will get out of it. Okay? So the state puts in 8% salary, we put in 5% of salary, and then they leave it up to us to invest it through ING in the market. Okay? Now, I don't know about you, I don't know the first thing about investing, nor do I care to. Okay? But we're out in the market with sharks. Okay? So that's part of the problem. We don't have professional investing of this, but it's only part of the problem. Okay? And even if they give us a reform that somehow is going to make the investing a lot better, the best of investors cannot match SERS, okay, in this, in terms of benefits. Okay? So that the fact that it's not guaranteed, it's based upon how well your investments do. When I was doing these talks before we got the hybrid plan, I was showing people how much money they would have to accumulate to match SERS. We were into the millions of dollars, something that, myself, I've been at this for 30-some years in this type of investing, and I've also put in close to $1,000 a month extra, and I still can't even match the minimum SERS. Okay? Not even close. So by showing that, people could see that it was very, very unlikely that they would ever be able to come close to SERS with the ARP account. SERS is like Social Security. It's guaranteed. It's a kind of a collective approach to this. You don't have an individual account. Your money goes into a common pool. What you do is you receive credits. You receive basically credits for a guaranteed pension. Okay, the stock market goes up, stock market goes down, doesn't affect what your guarantee is. Okay, that's somebody else's problem. Okay, the fund is going low, somebody else has to figure out how to build it back up. It's not your individual problem. So that's the first thing you need to know, okay, is that these are really two very different types of approaches to retirement. Let me show you an example, okay, and I can go into more details on this in the question and answer and whatever people want to do. Let's take two workers, okay, they're both, this is the example, they're both 62 years old, they have 25 years of service, they have an ending salary of $100,000. And they retire on September 1st, 2012. Okay, this is running the numbers of what they look at. If they were to decide to transfer to SERS, it would cost them $447,910. Okay, there's an online calculator where any of you can run your numbers, okay, to get them. Okay, and you think, oh my God, $447,000. Am I going to surrender that money? Okay, well, if they did it, this is what they would get in terms of a SERS pension. They would get, if it was just for the worker alone, person was single, it would be $38,000 a year. Now, if you have a spouse, the spouse has legal benefits, not benefits, but legal rights in this. If you want to cut your spouse out completely, the spouse has to sign off on that. That's in law. Most people also want to provide for their spouse, and there's two ways that you can provide for your spouse. One way is that should you die, your spouse would continue to receive a pension worth half as much as yours. Okay, on the theory that one person takes half as much money as two people. Okay. Why don't we hold questions till the end, or I'll never get through this. Okay, I'm almost through. The second is that you could decide that you want to have the same size pension, go on. Okay, and so depending on which of those you choose, okay, your pension amount goes down to compensate for now two people rather than just one. Okay, this is actuaries figured this out. Okay, the two lives are being guaranteed rather than one. So if you look at these numbers here, you'll see that it goes from 38,000 to 35,316, which is not very much. Okay? I mean, I was really surprised at that when I first did that. I mean, I thought, well, it's going to really go down when you go to two people, but no, it doesn't. And then, if you do the one where the spouse gets the full pension, it drops to 33,060. Okay. All right, so that's what would happen if you transferred that money to SERS, became a part of the SERS system. Now, what if you decide to stay in ARP? What can you do with that money in terms of an annuity? Okay, well, I've followed annuity rates ever since the early 1980s, okay, all the way up to now. And the present rates have been fairly steady over the last 10 years or so. Okay, so it's not like they go up and down very much. They don't very much, okay, from year to year. And what's interesting in this, among other things, is that the rate for women is different than the rate for men. Women receive a smaller annuity than men, okay, on the observation that women live longer than men. Okay, and since they live longer, therefore more will have to be paid for them, so you'll pay them less each pension check. Okay. That sounds fair, right? I see some doubting looks here. Well, I'm glad I see some doubting looks. This discrimination is one that's being contended in the European Union, and also there's a case coming out of Latin America about it. What if I told you that rich people live longer than poor people, but they don't discriminate against them in their annuities, but they do in terms of women? Okay. In the SERS pension, by law, they cannot do that. Okay. Defined benefit pensions must blend longevity assumptions. Okay. But still the financial market has this that's going on. Okay, well, be that as it may. If you look at what you would get from an annuity, if you were a female, it would be $21,948. Okay, if you're in SERS, it's $38,000. In ARP, $21,948. I don't know how much math you've had, okay, but seems to me, I can't imagine why anybody would have a great deal of difficulty in choosing which of those they want. And you get a little bit more if you are a male.
You're basing that on a 5% return?
Right, which includes something comparable to a cost of living adjustment. Okay. All right. If you look on the other side, and then this is just the end, this is the how question, okay, how to transfer. And, I don't know whether I should go through this now, probably not. I think it's a good time to stop and open it up for questions and answers. Okay. Now, okay.
In that scenario with the 62-year-old person, what if you don't have $147,000 and you put your own money in?
The question is, I've been told to repeat the questions. The question is, with that scenario, what if you don't have that money? Can you put your own money in? The answer is no. The only money that can be used is money that comes from a pre-tax retirement account. Now, you can move money. Let's say you worked at another university and have an account in TIAA there. You can move things over. Everything has to land in the ING stable value account because it's from there that the state will roll it. I actually, just yesterday, finally received my invoice. Okay, I'll tell you how much it is. $530,000. Okay, but I had it. Okay, but I had to move it because I've worked at 3 different universities that have these, retirement plans. And I had to move money from all these other universities to get it into the stable value account of ING before, this can happen.
If you have $500,000, what happens to the other
Okay.
$3,000?
Okay. So the question is, what if you don't have enough money after you've done all that? The answer is that you can get proportional credit. Okay, that is, let's say you worked for 25 years, but you only have enough money to buy 20 years. Okay, you can do that. Okay, and then you're short, but you're still far better off than leaving it, in ARP and trying to, do something with it there. Yes.
Okay, what about the issue of your heirs? If you or your spouse die, what happens with your heirs?
Okay. This is one of the very interesting things that Livingston put into the hybrid plan. Okay. It's the only defined benefit plan I know of that actually includes a provision for heirs. Because part of the reason why defined benefit plans are superior is because they're dedicated to retirement income. Okay. They don't allow it to be drained off in inheritances. It's like Social Security. If you pay into Social Security all your life and then you drop dead when you retire, the money just stays in the system, but it ensures that those people who survive, are well supported. But this plan has a feature where, let's say you retire and 1 year later you die. The money that has not been spent, okay, they keep a track of how much is going into it, then goes into your estate. So,
You get the money back, and then the remaining.
well, you won't, you'll be
No,
dead.
Your remaining money back.
Yes, the remaining money goes to the heirs, yes.
How does that, and for how long is that feature involved?
For how long does that feature, what do you mean?
Well, you said the money goes back. You put the money into Sears, and then you die 1 year after you retire, and the money comes back to you? I heard you wrong.
Yeah, no, if you die early, okay, and you've only collected a few pension checks, okay, and so let's say you bought into the system for $500,000, and then you worked a couple of years more, and there was more money that was put in, okay, they'll keep track of that. Let's say a total of, I don't know, 550